Peace, fams, at one Rosso Nation, the universe is revolutionary. How y'all families doing out there today? How y'all feeling? Yo, I want to express myself on a topic that's pretty controversial and a lot of hip hop heads are into. Well, it's the talk of the greatest of all time rap artists and um, that topic, who people say the greatest of all time is. And usually people say uh, Biggie Smalls, the Notorious B.I.G. and Tupac, Jay Z and Nas. They usually set it off between them guys. And while I don't have a problem myself with cats being dope, all those cats are dope MCs. Let me just say that first. Uh, and I've rocked with all of them. But my issue is how can, especially between Biggie Smalls and Tupac, how they being called the greatest of all times. How can first Tupac be called the greatest of all times or be considered Black Power or a prophet when he talked about and when he rapped about murdering other brothers? It was nothing for Tupac to say something about shooting a nine or something like that or AK or any type of gun at another brother, right? There was nothing to talk about murder. Uh, so how can that be equivalent to Black Power or a prophet? And that's supposed to be about righteousness and peace and harmony and teaching, people how to get out of their own self destruction. I don't see Tupac Shakur being any of that. And people made the argument that his mother was affiliated with Black Panthers and him being affiliated with the movement. Uh, uh, and I just don't see it. When Tupac's first album dropped, I really was into it. When I first was hooked on Tupac from Digital Underground song, same song, and he was dressed in, African attire and being carried like a king or a chief, right? But after that, you didn't see any more of that. After that, it was Trapped. Uh, the first album I really love is really my favorite. When My Home Is Called Soldier Story, all those dope jams. But the second album after that, especially the second album, I remember when he jumped on the first single, you know, at the shooting range and bulletproof vest and all that type of stuff. So it was a difference. And I really didn't follow him too much after that. Were there songs that were dope that he dropped years after that? Yeah, definitely. He's a dope MC. But as far as being considered Black Power or a prophet, I don't think so. Next, we're gonna say Biggie Smalls. Biggie Smalls, the Notorious B.I.G. How can he be the greatest of all time as well when he was talking about date raping Raven Simone? Like, come on now, like, let's be for real. And a song about R&B females, women, mention SWV, Adina, and all these other women, and then mention Raven Simone. No, there's other lines, and they're not even. Excuse me, they're not suspect. He says different things about children being raped and all type of crazy stuff. So how can that even be considered being the greatest when he's talked about things and rapped about things that he would do that's not even righteous at all? It's real wicked. I don't get it. And people will get offended when you say that's not what you looking at. You don't look at it that way. I really don't. Um, Especially when there's MCs like KRS-One still around, almost 60 years old, still dropping it, fresher than ever. And hip hop heads massively don't say KRS is the greatest of all time. You know, he's been more consistent than anybody, really, anybody that's in the rap game. A rap artist, especially known artist, he's been more consistent than anybody. Uh, Nas is dope. Uh, he's more laid back gangster, I guess, but still nonetheless, uh, he's come around pretty sharp these days, more than other cats because they pass. Uh, but uh, I can say he's been put up there with the greatest of all time, being he's been so consistent. Um, look like he's found some youthfulness in his years these days. He's really been getting down, but you know, uh, he could be up there. But Biggie Smalls and Tupac, no, and they didn't have a career long enough to even be considered. That's just, I think that's industry stuff. I think they push that to keep those records selling and to keep that type of feud going on, so there be this type of competition and things. But those guys spawned a lot of bad individuals. You know what I'm saying? They, especially Tupac with Thug Life, he spawned a bunch of bad individuals that either got locked up or put under the ground, things of this nature. And music is very powerful. It influences people to act out what they see and hear, especially rap artists, because they're so rich and on in front of everybody's faces all the time. Um, they are a serious factor in young uh, black children's lives. So you can't deny that, no matter what. They're actually the bigger factor than anything, really. A president or any other uh, noticeable people. Uh, Rap artists are the largest role models, So they definitely have an effect on the youth. They had an effect on me as a youth. I wanted to be like um, Common Sense and Redman and DOC and Guru and Gangstar. Like I wanted to be like these cats for real. Like lyrically, I wanted to dress like how the style that they were wearing, things of this nature. Um, and they kicked a lot of positive music that I took from you know, that I lived under. Like I agree with a lot of things they kicked in the rhymes, in those older rhymes. So people do that. The way we talk, our slang, everything, you know, comes from that. Uh, but yeah, uh, greatest of all time. If anybody's the greatest of all time, it would have to be KRS One. Uh, he has the most consistent career than anyone that I can see, besides somebody like Too Short, who's been around this long. Um, Definitely, you know. And it's funny because when people talk about money and success, especially in the rap world, they never bring up MC Hammer, and MC Hammer, I think it was the most successful, especially with the way he impacted the people on such a positive level, and everybody that he helped out, that he brought with him, that crapped on him. This man had dolls and cartoons and some of everything. Um, you know, brought out new dress styles and codes and dances, and he brought on a talk of who was the best between him and Michael Jackson and James Brown, and he was awesome. I went to an MC Hammer concert way back in the day, and I've never seen anything like that, man. That man was jumping on the speakers dancing. He had a whole show, whole stage full of people getting down with routines and everything. Like this is way back before any of these people do it big time like they do it now. Like MC Hammer was way beyond his time. So people need to get that understood. Um, and he had a nice run. He fell off and uh, things of this nature later, but shoot, that man had a nice run, for real. So people don't talk about MC Hammer like that, and we know he wasn't the best lyricist. We know he wasn't like a lyrical mastermind or genius, but when it came to dancing, and at that time, dancing was really big. I was a huge dancer. I came up breakdancing and b-boying. So by the time Hammer and all that was out, Kid and Play, I was getting down like that, getting down. So, I know what it is to be a dancer and how music moves you when you dance and stuff like that. Then I became an MC later uh, through DOC and all that. I wanted to rap like DOC, but that is what brought me into hip hop. Really, into rapping with is really DOC and Guru. I wanted to rap like them guys. I thought they sounded really really dope and intelligent, and I had never heard anybody rap like those guys before. Put rhymes together and words together like that. It was amazing to me. But yeah, and another thing, they don't talk about DOC like that. He had one of the dopest first albums of all time in hip hop. His second album was garbage, but his first album was one of the dopest. They don't say he's one of the greatest of all time. You know what I'm saying? And to me, he's better than Biggie Smalls and Tupac lyrically. I really think so. Yeah. But y'all can tell me what you think, and we chop it up on hip hop like that. All right. This is Ant One, Ross Old Nation. The universe is revolutionary. Play your part. Peace.